This is the MS Agronomy, both certificate and master's program orientation. And some of the things are exactly the same. Some things just deviate a little bit, and we'll talk about those deviations when we're through the session. So we want to just first do some introductions, and then I want to talk about the agronomy department. We just want to give you some information, but also to give you some locations of this information so that you can always go back to it. We'll talk a little bit about learning online. We'll talk about the creative component. What I want to do is, first of all, to introduce you to myself and also to Brenda, but then also to introduce you to some of the instructors who are here. I'm Dr. Mary Wiedenhoeft. I happen to be the interim department chair right now, but I'm also the director of the program. And so when we say the MS Agronomy program, that includes the certificate program as well. I've been in this role, I think about 4-ish years, but I've been in the program for about 25 years. So I did some teaching. I also advised some students in the program. So Brenda, if you would introduce yourself, please.
I am an Iowa State graduate, but not in agronomy, in earth science, so close. I grew up on a farm, so I am familiar with some of the things that you will be working with and have started in your courses. I am like you, that I earned my master's online, so I have a little idea of what you're going through from my experience, and I'm happy to be here.
We'll talk about this a little bit later, but in reality, your first line of communication is with the instructor, the current instructor that you have in the class that you're taking. Your second line of contact would be Brenda. So really, she's the go-to person. Those are really the people that can help you the most. I'm not very helpful, but I can help if there are situations when you need help. Okay, so let's introduce the faculty that are online today. So Dr. Elnaz Ebrahimi. So Elnaz.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Elnaz, and I am crop ecophysiologist at ISU. I'm assistant teaching professor. I teach 2 classes in MS Agronomy program, 501 and 531. And I have one in-person class at ISU, which is 392. I have some research. My research is about root growth in the crops and in response to the different environmental condition. I also do some modeling stuff, and I'm glad that you are here, and I wish you all the best in your program.
Great, thanks, Elnaz. Dr. Dave Flory.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm Dave Flory. So I teach Agronomy 5030, which is currently 503, getting used to the 4-digit numbers, which is climate and crop growth. In the class, we basically look at the interaction between weather and crops, and we've had a really exciting summer this summer with Hurricane Beryl, mid-season hurricane going through, in the B's early season. And for those of you in the Midwest, the derechos, we were just talking about the Midwest derecho. So a lot of interaction between crops and climate there, and that's really what the focus of the class is on. Thanks,
Great.
Mary.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Dave reminded me that just this summer, we're going through a transition of 3-digit numbers to 4-digit numbers. And so you see the 4-digit numbers on the screen. We've been trying to make all of those changes, but you hear us talking about the 3-digit numbers because it's taking us a while to transition. So also on this slide, you'll see that Dan Doble is teaching Agron 502. Some of you might be taking that this fall. And Dr. Arti Singh is teaching Agron 511. Okay, so additional instructors, Dr. Edgar Nieto is here.
So I'm Edgar Nieto. I'm plant pathologist. I work in plant pathology here in ISU. I am a postdoc in my 3rd year, and I've been teaching 514, that was integrated pest management, and then also crop protection also another course that was 533 crop protection, and then at the end the combination of both, that is now 544 pest host interactions. So basically we check in all those courses integrated pest management basically, and nice to meet you, and I'm here to respond any question you have, and all I wish best luck.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Edgar. Dr. Mark Licht is here.
Well, good morning and welcome to the program. So I'm Mark Licht. I'm a cropping systems specialist and associate professor here in the department. So as you can tell, I do have a large extension appointment, but I also get to teach 5910 and 5940. So 5910 is agronomic systems analysis, and then 5940 is the summer workshop in agronomy, where you will get to come to campus, meet various instructors, both inside and outside of the program, and see some of the concepts that you'll be learning through the program.
Great. Thank you, Mark. So Dr. Maren Harbour is not here. She teaches agronomy 5130, which is statistics. And then Dr. David Quamensa teaches several different classes. He's not here. He apologizes. He's in London, I think, today. So he's on vacation. And this guy never takes vacation. So I was really happy that he was taking vacation. All right. Then there's some other people that I want to introduce you to that are not online, but that you will come in contact with at different times during your tenure with us. So Glenn Wiedenhoeft is the instructor or instructional support specialist. You may not have any contact with him, but he's doing a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, and he's also helping us as instructors. So occasionally you might see his name come up, or there might be an issue where your instructor or Brenda might send you to Glenn, but he's the sort of in the background. Mina Vali is our evaluation consultant, and you will have contact with her at different times during your tenure in the program, mostly with focus groups and exit interviews. So she's doing the evaluation of the program at different times. We also have two people who are really very helpful, not just it's starting day one, really. So Michelle Athair is a writing consultant, and Anita Kay is the life sciences librarian. Those people, these two women, are interested in helping you in your writing, not just your creative component, but maybe in some papers that you have to write, or maybe there are some other assignments that you have to do and you need help with writing. Michelle is a person that you can contact, and we'll talk a little bit about how to get in contact with her. And then Anita Kay, so you're an ISU student, you have access to the ISU library, and again, helping you find information. Mostly, Anita is helping students with their creative component, but there could be other situations where you might need to use her her help. So the librarians have divided themselves relative to topics, and so Anita is working on the life sciences area, and so she's pretty focused on well, like agronomy, horticulture, animal science, so all of the life science topics. That is us in the program. So you just heard about the individuals who are here online, who are essentially 4 out of how many new students, summer and fall, Brenda?
Yes, 10.
10. So there are more new students. So we had some students who started this summer who we invited to come to orientation. But anyway, this gives you some, let me tell you some demographics about the students who have been in the program. So generally on the younger side, but we've had some very interesting people who retired and decided they needed to learn more about agronomy. So interesting mix of people. Also really interesting to see where people are from. Of course, the majority are from the Midwest. When I was teaching in the program, I always enjoyed hearing about what was happening in other states, other regions in the US, and occasionally we've had people from outside of the US and Canada. So mostly the people outside of the US are from Canada. And then, so here is our enrollments over the years. So we last year celebrated our 25th anniversary, and so this is the 26th year. And you can see that it changes over time, but we have been able to maintain really a strong showing. So I want to just give you an overview of a little bit about Iowa State, but also about the department, because you're a member of the department, even though we will rarely see you. And if you are in the area and you want to stop by to say hi, please do so, because it's just great to meet students, even though we've met them online a lot. So this is the organizational structure of the university. So this is the org chart of the university. There's about 32 to 33,000 students on campus. The president is Wendy Winterstein, and she's actually trained as an entomologist. She has been at Iowa State quite a long time and has essentially progressed through the ranks to president. Within the university, we have 7 colleges, and you can see, or 8 colleges, and we're in the College of Ag and Life Sciences. There's a lot of slang on campus, so we're in CALS, College of Ag and Life Sciences. The dean of our college is Dan Robeson. He's trained in forestry. He's been dean for 5 years, starting his new term this year. And then within the College of Ag and Life Sciences, or CALS, we have different departments. So you can see that we have quite a few departments, and we're in the Department of Agronomy, and the department is led by the chair. I'm the interim chair right now, and we are about to search for a permanent chair. I have been in the department for about 25 years, instruction, but also in research, particularly on the sustainable ag side or new crops or cropping systems. In our curriculum, we have about 200 undergraduates, so they're getting BS degrees. Some of them are getting soil science certificates as well. And then we have about 90-ish graduate students who are on campus, and they are studying either soil science, ag meteorology, plant breeding, or crop production and physiology. And then we have the distance program in agronomy, but we also have a distance program in plant breeding. So there are probably about 40-ish, is that correct, Brenda, in the plant breeding?
Yes, a little bit less, probably closer to 32.
Okay, so about 32 students in plant breeding, and then about 132, 120, 130 students in the agronomy online program. So agronomy graduate students added together on campus and distance represent a quarter of the graduate students in the college. So we're a pretty big entity when you think about graduate student education. Undergraduate animal science has about 1,000 students, and so we're really we're smaller in that way, but not the smallest by far. So here's a timeline, and as I just mentioned, we just celebrated our 25th anniversary. This was started in the late 90s, mid to late 90s, and the program, when somebody was just asking us about the program in the beginning, all of the information was put on CDs, and then they were put on DVDs, and then all of the information went online. So we've really, we have examples, like we have props that we can show across this timeline of how we have delivered the material. And so we call it a distance program. Well, now we're calling it an online program. I heard stories in the past of my colleagues, my now retired colleagues, who did distance learning, where they would get on the ISU plane and fly to different parts of Iowa, give these presentations, and then fly back and essentially go to class the next day. So that really is distance education. But the faculty was doing the distance, not the students. So in this timeline, here's where you are. So we just recently had our 305th graduate. And so in a couple of years, you'll be a graduate as well. So with that, Dave, Edgar, Mark, if you're free to stay. If you want to take off, that's cool. Elnaz is going to help us with talking about Canvas. So thank you for coming this morning and introducing yourself.
Okay. Our courses we have, as you have heard, we're making the transition from 3-digit numbers to 4 digits. So please excuse us when we use the wrong number. What we did was add a 0 onto the end of the number. So at least the first 3 digits are what familiar to us. Those of you that have started this summer already, you're in 503 because it's still a 3-digit number this summer. The climate and crop growth. Many of you are looking to take the crop growth and development course in the fall. There are other courses that simply being admitted to the program. The courses generally have program admission as the prerequisite. So your background, the prerequisite courses should prepare you for being able to complete the course successfully. Other courses are building on those. Most of them are 3-credit courses that are either fall or spring semester when they're offered. There is a summer course that is offered partially in person during the mid-July. It's directed by Dr. Licht, who was on just a few minutes ago. That is the 5940 practicum. The other 1-credit class is the 599M seminar, where you begin working on your creative component, and the 2-credit defense 5990 seminar that you would enroll in when you are defending your creative component.
Again, these are all of our courses. So so maybe just briefly talk about the certificate and then we'll move on to the master's.
The certificate is essentially half of the credits of the master's. The first 6 courses that you saw on the previous slide are the courses that make up the certificate, and it's intended to allow students to have the experience of the master's courses without having to continue on if their life career doesn't allow them to continue on, or they could continue on after earning the certificate if they like. And pretty much the same rules apply to the certificate, just fewer number of courses. So in the fall, the 4 courses that most of you would be looking to enroll in would be the 5010, 5020, 5110, and 5130. These courses have the admission to the program as the prerequisites. And so these are the most common courses that you may be seeing each other in this fall. Most everyone is going for the first one, 5010, because they feel that's kind of the start of the program. Registration is in Workday. This is another part of our transition that we're doing this summer, is we're transitioning software enterprise programs, and we're moving towards Workday, which will be fully implemented in the fall. So currently, you would do your registration for your fall courses and beyond in Workday. We have some links on step-by-step guides to following the registration. It begins with the onboarding that you received information when you were admitted. A couple of you have still yet to receive that email. We're working on it. There is some more general registration and registrar information that you can find on the registrar's homepage. Anything that involves records, student records, they are the go-to place. If you need to make changes to your schedule, you are able to do so yourself through the 5th day of class. After that, if you need to make a change to your schedule, go ahead and contact me and we'll go through how to proceed with that in Workday. And then there's some more information for you in the Canvas Agronomy Orientation course. It's not really a course as much as it is a repository of information. You should have received an invitation to join that.
Yes, and so it should be published after we get done with the recording and we put
Mhm.
the recording up, and then that information will be available.
So a few things that are expected of grad college students. You need to have a GPA of 3.0 or above. That's a grad college requirement. This is a grade of B in the letter grades. A letter grade of C or C plus is okay only if your GPA is above 3.0. If you earn a C minus or lower, that's not accepted, and you will retake the course to have it be able to meet the degree requirements. And there are ways to help you improve your GPA if it does fall below a 3.0. I think that's not a common experience. Most of our students do well.
I just want to add that if you are struggling in a class, please let the instructor know sooner than later. Also, instructors will, if you are struggling, often your instructor will send you an email like, hey, how can I help you? Take advantage of that. Sometimes people are embarrassed or they feel like the hole is too deep and they can never get out. Well, if you ask for help or just be upfront about it sooner than later, the hole never gets deep and you can climb out of it. So please do that. We're here to help you. We want you to be successful, not just Brenda and I, but also the instructors as well. So we know things happen, but just be upfront about it and we can help you either maneuver around it, or if there's really a huge emergency, maybe there's some other options for you. So we have asked Dr. Ebrahimi Elnaz to talk about Canvas. She's an instructor here. It gives her a chance to tell you things that are really helpful for us as instructors, but then also helpful for you as well. There's lots of guides available, and right away, if you're having difficulty, let us know and we can work it through. But Elnaz, can you just spend a little bit of time talking about Canvas for us? And thank you.
Yes, of course. First, again, I want to apologize. I'm recovering from a cold and I'm coughing. So in case that in between my presentation I cough, so I apologize for that. And also for my presentation, I didn't even remember that we have changed the name of the number, the code of the courses. So still my presentation is 500 based. So, but you know
okay.
now that it is 5010.
Yeah.
So I will try also to remember that during the presentation. So here is, again, most of you might be familiar with the Canvas. Once after that you received your net ID and your information from email information from Iowa State, you want to download the app, Canvas app, which you can see from the sign-ons. So I don't know how the students how it works for students, but you should be able to set up on your browser that the sign-ons and Okta's feature that each time you want to click on, you can have all of the apps that are from the Iowa State, you can use it easily. So once you go to the Canvas, so you will be able to sign in to your account using your Iowa State account number and password that you created. So here is what the user interface looks like once you sign into your Canvas. So I don't have much saying here, so
well, everybody's will look a little different depending upon what class they're in.
That's true. So the Canvas system is very easy to use. It has a very friendly user interface, and you will be able to see all of the courses that I will walk you through the dashboard where you can find all of the courses that you have signed up easily. You will see the course cards, and you will see all of the notification and all of the information that you need or new announcement that you may receive from Instructor or from CELT, the Center of the Learning and Education, in case that you need to complete any evaluation or anything that also you receive from Brenda. So yeah, that's much say about this slide. So here, I will walk you through most of the parts or components that you see in the left side of the screen, in the red column. So we will start with the account. So once you created your accounts, you signed in, you will have the opportunity, you set up your account, and I would highly recommend try to upload a photo of you, that because the interactions are limited in this program, and we all appreciate to see your faces, and you will see us most of the times, but we also like to see you. So having a picture of you would help us too. So the first in the column, when you click on the account, that what you will see is notification. So this is one of the important parts or components in setting your accounts, because it will tell you the notifications that you received in the daily basis or in weekly basis, what's going on in your course. So there is two notification setup. Once that if you see here, the first part notification setting is account level notifications that you will, if you set up the general notification, you will get from all of the courses that you signed up. And the second is daily notification. And you can change, if you have, for example, one course that has more announcement, or the instructor sent like instructions every week, and you want to receive the notifications every single day for that individual course, then you also will have an opportunity to set up individual course notifications from the inside the course that I will walk you through later. The second is profile. There is not much thing in that. You will again upload your picture and the files, but here in the notification setting, you will see the course, you see the course activities. So there are different parts into it that you can set a notification for that. Either you will receive an email based on your preference, that I will show you later how to set up your email, that you receive the notification on that email, or you can choose to receive a push notification. On this screen, you see that if you click, for example, on one of these small features of the bell sign, for example, if the bell sign is green or filled, it means that you are setting up that to receive the notification immediately, which is, I would encourage you to do that, because sometimes you have a due date, and if you don't set up, and that might be, you may get the notification after the deadline and you will lose point. The second part that is, I'm highlighting the most important parts, but you are free to change whatever works for you. And the second is announcement. Most of the instructors send announcements. For example, I send announcement every week on Monday morning if you have signed up for 501. So you will get an announcement every Monday morning just saying you, hi, I'm here. I know you are there, and I would encourage you to start the module. And so please just you go and check those bottoms, set up those notifications that you can see what's going on. Or sometimes I send updates, sometimes a deadline change that you need to know about it in advance. And the other thing is so important, and most of the students, they may miss it, it is submission comment. So if you submit an exam, for example, especially about the exams and assignments, so instructor may or may not, but for example, most of the time I give feedback. If the exam is based on your writing or even for the discussion topics, especially at the beginning of the course, beginning of the semester, I send my feedback. And the reason is just, you know what was wrong if you have done something which by error, or you haven't grasped probably the whole, the purpose of the assignment. So if I give my comment at the beginning, it is very useful to check that, because that will, in this way, you will avoid missing points in the upcoming modules. So if you miss a point like one in the first module, second modules, it probably will not affect the final grade. But if you keep just missing old points for the same reason, so that will be a little bit critical, and it is difficult to help you at the end. So that's why I suggest that please just set up the notification for comment. So sometimes you don't receive any notification, because you have done a great job, so you will not receive any feedback on that. So that is from this page on the account setting, and I still continue. The second from this list is setting. So profile files, I don't know how many, if you see it, I can see from the instructor point of view, but you may see all of the same thing in your account. So what is important here is the second important thing is setting. So how to change your setting, you will start with the edit setting. So I have here a little bit box saying you start here to edit or modify the setting. Once you click on that, you will have options to change anything that it is kind of like you can modify it here. One of the important things is time zone. I know that in our group today, most of you are almost at the same, except for Lloyd, I think North Carolina. So make sure that you change the time zone here in your account, because that is important for you to set up a timely notification. And because our setup is default to the central time, and if you don't change it, you may miss the deadlines because your calendar will be still based on the default. So I would highly recommend just please change your time zone as a first thing that you receive the notification for that course or the whole courses. Second is in the right side, you see email addresses. So from the right side of the screen, you will have the option to change your email, your default email information. So however, I really encourage all of the students to use the Iowa State email. And if you use a different email, it is fine. It's okay. So that's why we have it here, email adding a new email. It can be any email that you use daily. But using the Iowa State email, it will help, for example, me as an instructor to have your email in the Canvas system, and your email will not get lost in the pile of emails if you send me from out of Canvas. So the second, you will have the option to set up a push notification. Let's say you are traveling, you are not going to check your email every day, or you don't have access to your email. So you can set up a push notification here. And if you, Mary, just click one, please. You will have this pop-up box that here you can set up your cell phone number or anything that the pop-up box asks you, and then register your phone number. So in this way, you will be able to have access to all of the notification, even when you travel or on daily basis. Yeah, this is from this page, and the rest, like Cybox and all these things, are kind of things that you will play around with it, and it's not highly critical. And you will, once you get familiar with your account, you can change anything that works for you on that list. Okay, let's look at the dashboard, which is a second important component in Canvas. So on dashboard, you will be able to see all of the courses that you have signed up for. In my case, I have, for example, I teach 3 courses. I see the teacher's Canvas. You will see the student Canvas, but I have tried to just make sure that I put all of the features that you will see too, so to help you with the setting your canvas. In the course card, I call them course card. So it might be different, I don't know, but I like to call them course card. So for example, here, 501, 531, 392 are 3 course cards that I have. Each course card, you will see 3 small symbols here. One, you see the announcements, for example, here, this little feature here shows the announcements, discussions, and assignments. So these are some of the Canvas components has been repeated, you can see at the different locations. For example, announcement, you see it here on the Canvas card, the course card, and also you can see it on the course page. So you will have, it is very, I would say, accessible from every page that you go. So you don't need to change the page in order to access the, for example, announcement or discussions or assignments, or even calendar. For example, here in the calendar, in the right side, you will have access to the calendar page, online calendar. And I also recommend that please check the calendar for new updates, because all of the changes will be sent by the announcement. But in case the instructor forget to send the announcement, you will still be able to see the online calendar. And if they have modified the deadline, you will be able to see that. Which does not happen often. So the deadlines are pretty much straightforward. You will see it, but it happens during the semester. If something happens to instructor or for technical difficulties, you may see some changes in the deadlines. And in the right side column, you see also to-do list. This is how your page on the dashboard page will look like. You will be able to see your to-do. So what is coming? For example, here to-do is, I need to complete this task, and upcoming events also listed here. If you have assignment to complete, if you have discussion topic with the deadline coming, you will see it in the right side, and also you will see your grades in the right column if you click on that. The next is courses. Once you click on the one individual course, for example, I clicked on the course card on 501, and then it directed me to this page, which is individual course page. So Agronomy 5010, this is a course page. You're now inside that course. And what you are gonna see is a home page. You will see announcement, syllabus. For example, here I have packback, discussions, assignments, your grades, and so on, and the set of modules. So this list may change based on the instructor changes the sequence of them. So this is, I have put it by random. So don't think that always you will see this, but pretty much you will see all of modules, syllabus, announcement, and homepage. So on the top, you will see again, recent announcement. If instructor has sent, please check the announcement. And because important things has been most of the time sent by instructor there. In the right side, right column, you will see a list of things that for example, again, you see here, view calendar, course calendar. This will direct you to the individual courses calendar, not the general one. So, and then again here, to-do list for only this course. It is listed here. You can see what you need to complete that week, or based on how many assignment instructor has opened up or made it available to you, you will see it here. So syllabus, if you click on the syllabus, you will see the syllabus. I again encourage you to please read every course's syllabus, even though we have almost a similar pattern on the master program, but every course's syllabus is different. Expectations are different from instructors. And so it is so important to review and make sure that everything is clear, and inform the instructor, as Mary said, at the beginning of the course, if you are going to have vetting, if you are going to have some big traveling coming, if you are having a baby. So make sure that you are informing us in advance that we could help you with your study program. And then clicking on the modules, that will direct us to the next page. So on the modules, you will see pretty much this list, which continues, but I have for example, here, I have opened only 3 modules at once. You will see all of the modules that is being published. So some of the students, they insist to have all of the modules available. That is great. If the instructor has prepared all of the content for that course, they might make all the modules available. However, based on most of our experiences, that has disadvantages because we are online, we are not in person. And one of the challenges in online program is engagement. Because if you expect yourself to read the whole material at once, we have a team collaboration, and that needs active discussions with your teams, and it needs every weekly engagement on that activity. So you may miss it, and based on my experience, most of the students, they miss points from discussion topics if they complete all of the modules at once, and they forget the content is faster, I would say. So I personally release only 3 modules, 2 to 3 modules at once. So this is kind of like helping a student to manage their time based on their schedule, but also keep them still engaged in the weekly basis. Okay, this is about the modules, and then we have discussions and assignments. For example, in 501, if you click on discussions, you will see those discussions that are open or released by the instructor. And discussion week 1, every week, pretty much we will have 1 discussion that you need to initiate and collaborate with your team. And in my case, I have set all of deadlines for Friday night and Monday night. So this will, or Saturday night. So depending on the type of activity, this will give you time, 1 week time to read the module and then complete the expected assignment. Here, there is one little box here that I would encourage you to click on it and subscribe. So this is a subscription. This will help you to receive notifications in case that something going on in your group. If your group mates, if your teammate has posted something, you will need to respond to them because it is part of your activity for discussion topics. So I would encourage you to subscribe for all of them, that you get the response from your teammates or from me in case that we have anything. If you click on assignment, you will see all of the assignment, including this discussion topics. So Canvas gives you 2 flexibility to get into the page that you want to go. So if there is show by date and show by type, you can choose. So for example, here I have selected show by type. So it shows assignment groups. I have the whole semester 3 assignments, which is basically writing a recommendation letter. And I have introduction for discussion topics that it is teamwork. So we have 2 teamwork and also individual assignments that will help you. If you are more a person to work by yourself, you will still get your grade from individual assignment, and also it will help you with your teamwork. That is pretty much from that page. Any question? Okay, I will move on to the calendar. So I told you a little bit about the calendar. This is how it looks like when you click on it. So I clicked from the course page, so it directed me only to the calendar, which is set up for 5010. This is the calendar that you will see, and you will see how the modules, where the modules start. When is your discussion topic? For example, after 1 week, you will initiate your lead post, and you will have 3 days to comment on your classmates, and this is a deadline set up for Saturday and Monday night. And in my course, my deadlines are at the midnight, even though it is not encouraged from the university, because we want you to have a balance between work and study and family life. But based on my experience, most of the students that they have family, they really prefer that to work after like work hours that they come home, they do their study after 6 p.m. So that's why I have set up 12 a.m. as the deadline that they can work at least 4 hours before they go to bed. So, and in the calendar feed, I have also here a link, so you can access your calendar feed and you can transport your Canvas calendar into your personal calendar or vice versa. So this will help you. There's a instruction that is given by Iowa State here for more information. You will have to set up weekly, monthly, or based on agenda. So it is pretty flexible. Okay, this is about the calendar, and this is again about the email. So again, to repeat it, please, if you can, if it is possible, use the Canvas email system. Most of the time I miss emails because every day all of us receive tons of emails, and sometimes your emails end up in our not main box, because I have, for example, one focused and one main box, so it ends somewhere else or get lost in the pile of other emails, and I forget to check my whole like a daily calendar. All of us just kind of busy, and your question may get lost, and then if you see you don't receive any question, in my case, for example, I don't know about other instructions, just send me another email from Canvas. It means that I haven't even seen your emails that ended up in my personal or my ISU calendar somewhere else. So this is how you will start. Once you click on the email, you will have opportunity to compose an email, and you can see reply, forward, or if I sent you a group email, you will be able to reply all. And also you can sort out if you want for one course or to see the unread emails or so on, or search for different group members, or get it add into your contact list. So this is pretty much the most important parts of the Canvas system that we will use in 5010, or most probably most of the courses in our program. And I will be happy to help you in any ways that I can. If you have any questions, any difficulties to set up, please feel free to contact me anytime, and I will make sure that to get back to you in 24 hours most of the time. And or even now, if you have a question, I will be glad to answer.
Elnaz, that was great. Thank you very much. So sometimes students will register for a class and then they'll send me a note saying, oh my gosh, I can't see the class on my dashboard. That's because I have not published it yet. So don't panic. We are suggesting to the faculty that they publish their classes the Friday before classes start. So that's something like the 23rd. So you may or may not see something before the 23rd, but I'm pretty sure that you will see something before classes actually start. Classes are starting Monday the 26th, but again, online is it's just a little different sometimes because we can start a little earlier.
Mary, could you confirm that that's the 26th of August?
Yes, sorry. Yes, 26th of August. We follow the same pattern as the university. So I think graduation is something like the 18th of December. So the last day of classes would be about the 18th of December. Our classes are not, we put everything up and then you just work at your own pace. You will have assignments weekly generally. You'll have discussion probably weekly generally. Sometimes assignments are weekly, sometimes they're every other week or every month, whatever. And there will be also readings as well. So you can work on your own time, but you can't work on your own time. So you have to stay at the same pace that others are. Although, as Elnaz mentioned, if you know something major is about to happen and you want to start working ahead, contact the instructor because we'll be able to help you in that situation. Sometimes there's just emergencies and you don't plan for them. Again, have somebody yourself or somebody contact us just so we know, one, we care about you, and two is that we can help you particularly if there is some transition and some things that have to work out. Yeah, Elnaz.
I also want to add something that
Yeah.
I notice every year, every semester this happens, and I want to tell all of the students. Hopefully, the rest of the students in this program this year will be able to watch this video. I want just to add that please do not panic when you start the course. Most of the students, they compare their grades, and when they start with their bachelor's program, they think, oh my gosh, I was always A+. Now I can't answer this question. What is wrong with me, or what is wrong with you? So I want just to say that you are one level up. You are not doing the bachelor's degree. You are doing either certificate or master program, which is a one level higher than the bachelor's degree. And we are setting our expectations based on the Iowa State expectations from for this program, and the quality of our program might be different from other institutions. And Iowa State is one of the best agricultural universities. Our department is one of the best agriculture units in the whole world. So our expectations from you are reasonable, but at the same time might be different than your experience from other institutions. So, but no matter what is going on, our goal is here to help you to achieve your goals. And we are here to help, we are here to support. Well, in my experience, if you are following the syllabus, all of our students, they get the highest grades, not because we are giving them, but they earn. If you follow the expectations from individual course, you will succeed, and there is no place to panic if you are communicating with the instructor, because we are not here just to hurt you. We are here to help you. So, and our goal is to support you in any way that we can. But of course, there are expectations and there are rules in every classroom that is set up at the beginning of the class.
Mm-hmm.
So just don't panic, especially if you are joining after a gap years.
Yeah, Elnaz, that's just really great recommendation. And I was thinking, think about the transition from high school to college. It took a little while.
Yeah.
And it'll take a little while. And you're also adding this transition to maybe online that you haven't done in the past, which we will talk about in just a minute. So I'm going to move on, but if you have questions, there's lots of Canvas help. Your instructor can help you. Brenda can help you. I mean, there's just lots of places that you can get help. Lloyd, don't panic in learning this new system. And I think you'll also see that even though each instructor is a little different, there's a lot of overlap. And once you get our sort of template down, you'll see it in multiple classes. Thank you so much, Elnaz. This was great. Thank you. So we also have some support information resources online, again, in our Canvas MS Agronomy orientation that you will not see on your dashboard yet because we have not published it. We just want to add some more things to it and we'll publish it. And the goal would be that we would publish it by the end of the week. And again, so different places to get information to help in either the transition or just learning a new system. So I mentioned that you have this transition from undergraduate to graduate classes, but you may have this transition from on-campus to online learning. And so I asked Brenda, because she did online learning, I've only done it as an instructor, to just talk about online learning. So Brenda.
Okay, as Elnaz pointed out, there is a need for a change in your strategies. There's a different kind of personal contact that you may experience. Some instructors may have frequent office hours by Zoom. They may prefer email. They may prefer the connection in various other ways, like through the Canvas course. And as Elnaz had mentioned, there's, regular and frequently weekly assignments that you don't have to do them at a specific time. You don't have to show up in class at 2 p.m. every day, but what you do need to be able to meet the deadlines. If you do your work at 2 in the afternoon or 6 in the morning, that's up to you. And if you have any challenges, especially technical challenges, contact the instructor right away. That way they can be resolved sooner, and you'd be able to start learning a little bit easier once those are resolved. So there are a few tips that I've come up with, as well as others.
Just hold on,
Okay.
Brenda. I just want to say, if you have technical challenges, tell us right away, because it's possible that everybody has that technical challenge and something has gone wrong and we have to do something, and then everybody has, or it might be just you. So either way, let us know right away. Yeah.
So you do need to be self-motivated and self-disciplined. You need to take time just to think about what you are learning. One of the learning theories is that you need to touch something 7 times to learn it well. Touching it could be just thinking about it. It could be reading about it. It could be writing. It could be doing some kind of other activity. It may be explaining it to somebody else. It's that frequent contact with the material in different ways that really help you to learn it well. As a step up from the undergraduate, there will be more critical thinking and decision making that you will be doing as part of the program and as part of the learning process. Be aware that you're going to need to take that next step and put 2 and 2 together to create your own. I suggest stay on schedule, especially during a summer class, because it's much easier to get behind than it is to catch up. If you can stay on schedule, at least with the class as it's progressing, it'll just make life so much easier for you, so that if there is something that takes extra time or life happens and interrupts you, you're able to compensate for that. The one way to do this is, like I said, you don't have a weekly or a daily class time. I would suggest setting a time for yourself, in that manner, so it becomes a regular habit for you. Use the interactive features that are in the courses. Sometimes they won't require you to do them to be able to get points, but that extra interaction goes back to learning the material. Communicate with everyone. As we mentioned earlier, if there's an issue, we can resolve it. Maybe others have suggestions, and just simply, that's another way of interacting with the material. Always ask if you have questions. Take advantage of their office hours if they're offering them. It's like staying after class and talking with the instructor as they pack up their course materials. Sometimes you just get a better feel for everything. Places to ask, as we mentioned earlier, starting with the instructor. I can help, classmates can help too, just depending on what your question is.
Okay, so this is kind of a convenient place to stop and see if there's any questions.
Mary or Brenda, I'm curious to know how much flexibility, or if there is any flexibility in the curriculum.
Define flexibility.
So if we want to trade a class in or trade a class out, is that possible?
Potentially. So what you saw was a list of requirements. We have a couple of other classes that would be online that are coming from either the online plant breeding that's in our department, or another program that we work pretty closely with is Seed Technology and Business. And so there may be a possibility, but again, that would be very much on an individual basis, depending upon the needs of the student, the situation, and we would just have a conversation and, like negotiation. I mean, we would just have a conversation about that, but it would be something that the student would have to initiate. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mhm.
good. Thank you.
Yeah. We've had just a couple of students in the 25 years that I've been here that have brought in previous credits, but generally it's people who are, changing direction, and so their previous credits don't really fit our requirements. Yeah.
I
Mhm.
think I noticed somewhere in the documentation that the statistics course was optional or could be optional.
It is not optional.
It is not optional. So that's the one I'm interested in trading out. I have a team of statisticians, don't do my own stats, have a good understanding of stats, but I'll bring that to you at a later
Yeah.
date.
Yep. Other questions? Once again, you might think of questions later, and also, we're always open to just sending us an email with your questions. Okay, so one of the things that, because all of you are in the MS Agronomy program, one of the things that you will accomplish in order to graduate is a creative component. And I want to give you just an overview of the creative component, and I want to do it for two reasons. One is we throw that word around, but what really is it? And two is to be able to tell you straight up, don't panic. So we have students at orientation who are panicking about the creative component. Ooh, you have, like 4 years to work on this. You have time here. You don't have to know everything about what you want to do, but I'll show you a timeline so that you can start thinking about what you want to do. So the creative component is like on-campus, what an on-campus student would do is a thesis, but it's not to the same depth and rigor, but it is an opportunity to show your creativity, to show your independence, show us, putting things together. What are some things that you've learned, and then further developed information or skills that will just make you a better agronomist. And it's something that has to be approved. And again, I'll show you a timeline. I'll show you ways of doing that. Now, so some people say, okay, well, what does it look like? Okay, you can look at archival creative components, but generally they fit sort of 5 categories. A research project where, and sometimes think about these projects in relationship to your own job or to your own life, in that you might be working in research, there's a research project going on, you talk to your supervisor and you're able to take on that project, and that project becomes your creative component, and it's something that you might have already be doing, but you're using it again to demonstrate your knowledge of agronomy, your creativity. It could be a lit review, so you are very interested in a particular topic, and so you just delve right into the literature, searching and understanding that particular topic. We also have case studies. Once again, an advisor could help you with any one of these, but I have had more case studies than anybody. So case studies is, I've had students who have, I'll just tell you a couple stories. So I had a student who retired airline pilot, and he must have made a lot of money at the end because he bought a farm. It takes more than 2 pennies to buy a farm. He bought a farm in the panhandle of Nebraska, and so his creative component, his case study, was developing a farm plan for the different fields in his farm. And so he's taking the agronomic knowledge that he gained in the program and then putting it into a context, and that context was a particular farm. I've had another student who did a farm management plan for a farm that she had in Minnesota. I had a case study student who was from Idaho, and her family had a dairy farm and they were considering transitioning to organic. And so her case study was about what would it take to transition the conventional dairy farm to an organic farm. So things that they could use, that they could walk away and use. We've had some people do instructional modules. And so right now I have a student who is working on, who's a teacher at a community college in Illinois. And there are some lesson plans, course activities that he wants to improve. And so he's working on an instructional module that he will then literally take into the classroom. And so we can get some feedback on how things are going. Also, there's instructional modules that students have done where they're at an organization that there's just a need for internal professional development. And so they did some work on, this is back in the day, like on GIS and GPS and drones, things like that, or just different things that would help the organization. So it's things that can help you in the context of your job. It could be things that are helping you in the context of your life. There was one particular student who was doing some volunteer missions work through his church in Africa. And so his case study instructional module creative component was about helping them develop some course material that could be taught in this high school that he had been working with in Africa. So, and then other projects would be like a survey or a field guide. I had a student who did a field guide of all things about growing grapes in Minnesota. And again, like educational units. So these are some typical kinds of projects, but again, it comes down to what are your interests? What are some things that you want to learn further from what you have studied in your classes? So the timeline is that we have 3 credits for this creative component, and we divide the credit up by 1 credit to develop your proposal, which is about halfway through your program. And then the 2 credits are for creating your creative component and then defending it at the end, generally at the end, just before prior to graduation. Depending upon how fast you go, if you are doing 1 class a semester or 2, most people are doing 1, but some people do 2. And I have invited some students current students in the program to meet with you at 11:30. So that might be a great question to ask them. Like, are they doing 1 class or 2 classes a semester? So in Agronomy 599 or 5990, we didn't change that. You will be led through thinking about your proposal, preparing the proposal, and then also we are helping you find an advisor, somebody who would guide you or help you. Unlike on campus, this advisor isn't like right there all the time. So sometimes the guidance is coming actually from your supervisor because you might be doing something at work or something for work. And so you have an internal supervisor that will be helpful. We certainly welcome that. That's not a problem. Once you have your proposal, once you have your advisor, then you're working through this creative component, and some people will do it. Okay, I don't have anything else going on in the summer. I've taken all the summer classes, so I'm working on it during the summer. So that's where they put the sort of the time slot of that. Sometimes your creative component might be field study where, yes, you're working in the spring, summer, and fall. And so you might be working on this while you're taking other classes. And then at the very end, your advisor will help you through the writing of this creative component. And again, we have copies of creative components that you can take a look at. And then once they feel like you have met the expectations, then you defend. And that defense is a presentation about what you did, and then a public presentation. And then usually it's about an hour and a half, a conversation with your advisor and another committee member. But pretty low key, it's really having more of a conversation. Okay, so that's like an overview because 1, you're not ready for it yet. 2, but I don't want you to panic either and kind of have an idea of where you're headed. And also when you're taking classes, if there's a topic that just really interests you and the class isn't going into more detail, here's your chance to go into more detail about that particular topic. Okay, so we have mentioned a couple of times this orientation. So you'll see the agronomy orientation on your dashboard as soon as we publish it. You'll see that there are modules, and a particular module that I want to show you is going to be the orientation module. And in that orientation module, you'll see, let's see if I can get to that. Orientation for summer 24, and then we also have the recording of this session, the registration information I'll pull out, and if there's some other resources that we've talked about or will talk about with the current students, again, we'll put that up on Canvas. And I'm hoping, Brenda, I think we can get that up probably by the end of the week. That's our goal. Okay, so we want you to be successful. So again, contacting the instructor, contacting Brenda, contacting myself. So with that, are there any questions now?
I think pretty much everything is covered, and the slides that we'll put up will correct the missing the zero in a course number and, you know, those little things.
I hope this was helpful to just get an overview of the program and the things that are sort of about to happen.